What are we gonna do today, Pablo? Hey? What are we gonna do today? I think we're going to... I think the plan is to make a fuel tank. We need to do that. I need to do that so I can get this back end of the car all situated which way I want it to like clean up and finish up this back rail portion of it. I like the idea some folks said with storage under there. We'll see how big of a fuel tank I need. We'll have to try to calculate up how big of a tank makes sense. But the plan is I got some 14 gauge here. So I'm going to bend it up. So I think I have a big sheet. I've made a few tanks before, so we'll see how big, because it's just that wide, so I'll leave it that width and then we'll see how deep and whatnot. You know, a guy should have at least a 10-15 gallon tank, and my eyes would be okay for the bit of driving around I'd like to do with it. Anyways, I did crank it up a little bit. Just got a little more of a hot rod stance to it. I don't know if you can actually see from that angle, but I was struggling with the my shock mounts. I was going to redo them, but I ended up jacking it up a wee bit. So, anywho, enough babbling. Let's build us a fuel tank. Okay, so I did the initial bends. You're seeing me monkey around because this thing is, I think it only is supposed to be able to do like 16 inch or 16 gauge or something, and I'm doing like 14. What I do anyways, like when it's down, you can adjust it the in and out, and then I take some of the tension off the arms. But you can see I give it, like from where the bend is, quite a bit of gap. I set my my line that I have, I will do into where the groove is, like, and whatever. It just works for me. I'm clearly abusing the crap out of this thing, but it still does nice bends and does everything I need it to do, so not a big deal. So here's my initial shape of the tank. It'll have some flanges off the side, so whatever I step around the chassis, I can bolt it in and kind of take the tank out if I need to. What else am I going to do here? I think I'm actually going to make like a sump. I've never done that before. Because most of my stuff, it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm racing the car or anything, but I guess what I'll do is I'm going to notch this out, pull this down at the rear of the tank, and then I can run my line underneath it and kind of do my thing. I'll set the top up with a proper sending unit, everything else, and notch out for my fuel filler. So, and then I'll probably just put some very simple baffles, just 2 of them inside, just to stop the sloshing from side to side. So, I don't know. It's pretty straightforward. Looks kind of big, but it'll almost hold... Ooh, what did I calculate this? I think it's almost 50 liters of fuel. So, whatever. That's a lot. More than enough for a little bit of cruising. So put a little bit of weight in the back of the truck, I think. It's bigger than the kegger, the thing that I was going to do. Or not the kegger, but that Speedway thing. I have a spun tank, but you'd never see it. So yeah, what's the point? We'll we'll make it. So anyways, this is going to go down. It's going to weld up. I set it up so it was a little shallower in the back than it is in the front, just because of or no, it's deeper in the back, shallower in the front. Yeah, I think that's right. Just because of the rake of the truck, just so the fuel kind of stays even in it, if that makes sense. Because the bottom will kind of have a flunk that way. But anyways, I am going to see if I have a sending unit first, because I do have like those gauges I showed you, but they don't come with senders. But I think they're, I'm going to try to find a sender. For some reason, I think it's the same as like a newer truck, a GM truck or something. So we'll start with making sure I have the right sender and the fuel gauge does what it's supposed to do. So again, I got these ones, like I say, from, I think this one, because they're 4-inch, they're over 4-inch, just a hair over, so they fit into the stock holes in the truck there. But they don't come with senders, but it's also, I think this cost like $70 or something. So for what I think is a fairly nice looking gauge, it's pretty cheap. The sending units will probably kick me in the butt, but if it's pretty standard gauges, then it might be just on junk I have lying around. I can actually make this work with minimal effort and minimal dollars. So anywho, I'll first build my sides for that thing. All right, well, got my gauge. I have a sending unit out of, I don't even know, like a newer truck, I guess. Part of me almost wants to, I'm just gonna test the sending unit now, but part of me almost wants to sink one of those in, even though it's a carbureted motor, I can put a regulator on it. But for now, we'll just see if this is the right range for the sending unit. We will start with that. So we got that one, we got there. Got us a ground, whatever, sending unit, and another ground. Purple and blue. This one's kind of weird because brown is, or blue is actually a ground according to the gauge. Get all this hooked up so we can test some stuff. So that should make that all go, and then this should be for my fuel gauge. I'm thinking. There we go. Okay, well, there we go there. Don't know exactly which is which on here. I'll imagine the fuel pump is in there. Alright, just making sure I know what wire's what. Let's go with purple must be 1. I'm guessing. Well, maybe it's color for color. How's that, eh? Purple? Is there a blue one? Nope. Well, that doesn't make sense. Is this one of them? Nope. This one of them? Nope. This one of them? Yep. I don't know which is which, but we'll go with one of those as a ground. Let's say purple. And then that leaves my sending unit here. You could test it a different way, but I'm going to do it this way. Well, technically it works, but it's backwards. Full is empty, empty's full. So if you switch that around. Alrighty, well, we know that this thing works, because that says it's empty. So if I had the unit in here, I guess full doesn't matter as long as we know what empty is. Full can just stay there. See, that's pretty good. I could almost... Nah, we gotta make that removable. We'd hate life if that thing screwed up and we had no way to get it out of there. Well, here's gonna be the game plan. We know this goes in here. We know that's empty. Yada yada's full. So I'm gonna make like a mount up here. Would it be a mount? Make a plate that I can weld. I'm gonna make my own plate to where I can do like a rod that I can attach this onto, and then I can remove and then have a stud on it for my sending unit. Hopefully it works out. I would have just taken one from a junk fuel tank, but I don't really have anything, so I'll just work with what I got. We'll make something up. So I'm going to fire up the table so I can make 2 round circles, and then we can buzz it into the tank. I'm going to make, like I say, 1 round with a hole, the other one. I don't know. Let me just do it and I'll show you. dry run, see if we got this right. How many do you think I got it? I question it. Oh, fail. Whoop. Severe fail. See, it's gonna be in this thing. It's gotta be touching somewhere. Oh, you know what it is? Dang it. I don't think I screwed up. Well, I screwed up, but I think it's just this slightest. It's just the tiniest of wire right here from when I crimped it. I gotta clean this up a bit. All right. I think I got it. Hopefully. And survey says, what? Full tank? Haha. Meat. And not fully full. I can fix that. That's full enough. Must still be in here. All right, I have to work on this a little bit. There's still something goofy. I don't have any way to isolate this better. I looked in my gasket sets and I found some valve cover seals. So I rammed them between the bolts. I think I have to bevel it better so this nut stays centered a little bit. I have it pretty tight, so it seems pretty good now. Like, but if it screws up, I'll know why it's doing it. So, whatever. I think we got her. Not gonna throw it in the tank yet till I get some other stuff sorted out, but at least we got this going on. Cool. All right, well, you've seen me do my filler. So we got that all sorted out. Fits in there, does what it's supposed to do. Should be okay. Sits in that corner. Now I'm just gonna throw in some baffles. I think it goes that way. Don't need to hit the top of the tank. I kind of do that. Leave some space underneath. So I'm gonna throw one midway down because in the middle is where I want to do my sump. But this will probably sit up a little higher, get about an inch or so underneath it. We'll do both sides, and then we're gonna cut out a schlunk in the middle that I can go down that I can pull fuel from. I know normally a sump goes the other way, but the tank already will be in the car leaning at about this much angle, so I'm just gonna bring a chunk of it down where I can do a fitting. I'll do a return somewhere else in the tank. I don't know if I need a return with the system, but in case I do, I'm gonna screw, tap a fitting, plug it for now, to which then I can just put it in whenever or if I ever need it again. So anywho, I'm gonna tack that up, and no, I'll do it after. I'll do the sump so I can clean out the inside of the tank really quick before I do these quick welds, and then I should do the filler as well. So I'm gonna blow all the holes that I need to put in here yet, and then do that, do the sump, do my filler, Then I'll do these, and then we'll close the outside because there'll be no way to get into that tank after. All right. Well, got a plan. Let's get started. Well, the overall, what is the tank, is welded. So we got our little sump here. I don't know whether it does anything or not. I don't know. I might weld a tab or two just so I can tie my fuel line to something. I don't know which way I'm going with the line yet. Put it in return, but I'm just going to plug this one for now. If I need it, I at least put it in the tank. We got our fill. We got our fuel sender. I don't know. I have no tricks to welding these together. If I TIG welded it, there'd be a good chance. I bet you I would have about an 85% chance there'd be no leaks. But the fact I MIG welded it, it's probably a 50-50. Well, I'm going to have leaks. It'll just be a matter of where. I know where my leaks will be, or they're always usually going to be where I start and stop my weld. I'm trying this one. When I did it, I tried to come back like half an inch, basically re-weld, and then I'd get a nice hot weld back over when I stop my joint. So I don't know. We'll see. I was trying to put some big weld here just because I don't want, because they're not overlapping or anything. They're kind of a butt weld, so I don't want anything to crack. But I don't know if I have any fittings, because I got to make, I got to plug this, put an air fitting on the one side. We'll close off the cap. We'll check for leaks. I still have to make a gasket for my, wherever my sending unit is. It's over here somewhere. So I still have to make a gasket for it, bolt it together, but I still have to make my mounts, I guess to say. The plan is, I think what I'm going to do is come with some, I was going to come off the edge of the rails, but I don't know if I have to. I'll probably come off the back and then stagger around and back, kind of like then I can drop the tank in from on top. That's kind of the plan. I don't think I'll change it. I think I'm still good with it. Then what I'm going to do is just blitz a bit of angle iron onto the tank, and then it can sit into it that way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go that route, unless I decide to coat under from bottom up. I don't know. I'll figure that out as soon as I try to blitz it in there. You see me doing a lot of stitching, like solid welding. I'm not too concerned if this thing got wobbly. Like, it's just holding fuel, and it's going to want to bow out when there's fuel in it anyways. Well, probably not, but I mean, it is 14 gauge too. Like, it can take a lot of heat. You can see the heat soak isn't that crazy on it. Anywho, I got to go find some fittings so I can pressure test this first before I put it into the truck. But we can test fit some stuff there, so I'll probably, like I say, do that first. right, well, you're watching me. I was making the gasket, so hopefully this seals well. I've foiled up this thing. I put a Schrader into here. Basically, we're going to pressure test and see how many leaks I got. Technically, there should be no pressure in this tank, so it's not a big deal. We shouldn't need a lot of pressure. I'm an idiot, and I'll probably put like 20 pounds, something excessive in here, but whatever. And then we'll just spray some soapy water around and just watch it bleed bubbles everywhere. Anyways, I'll pressurize this sucker and we'll see if we can find and mark all of our leaks and fix them up. Well, that's definitely not too bad. I got one right there. I don't know why it seems like I was bubbling there. I don't think it was. Best I could tell was over there. And whatever. On that, on my little stout down there in the front, I had a spot. I gotta test it one more time back here. This filler is just a disaster, so I'm pretty much just gonna run the TIG welder around it all and see if I can clean that up, and then I'm going to retest this again. But not too bad. I'm pretty impressed how the rest of the tank wasn't such a crap show. It actually worked out okay. I'll fix what I think is broken, so all I'm going to do is run the TIG welder over those spots, weld them up a little bit, like just heat and burn everything back together, and then we're going to come back and pressure test this thing again. So I got a drilled tap, the pipe's in, fuel tank is in. Yeah, there isn't too much to say. We pressure tested it, everything's good. I still have a few tiny little pinholes up by the filler, which is not too big of a deal. I do have this seal all. I don't know if you folks have that in the States, but you can use it on gas, oil, anything. I've used it to like fix an oil pan with a leak, like a rusty oil pan. You kind of lather a little bit on, hold her on a little bit over the leak, pull your finger off, stop leaking, lather a little more on, golden. So I kind of use this. It also works with the gas tanks. So I'm just going to lather a little around the weld there. That'll fix that. She'll be good as gold there. Good as new. As good gets. I don't know. Anyways, tank is in. It doesn't hang too low. You know, you just catch it from underneath. I mounted it a little higher. I was going to make some storage boxes. I do like the suggestions you folks gave, but there's not really any room to do anything. I know some folks were saying it'd be a good spot to put a spare tire, but there's no way a spare tire would fit under there. Like, my tires are like yay round, very round. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably just tie into the side here, into this mount yet, just so this end of the frame is just finished off. That's it. That's as far as I'll get with that. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this one. The fuel tank is done. She's good enough. Good enough for what I need. Well, I'll put the tailgate on, even though I don't have the latch, but you'll see what I mean. It just clears. I mean, this is the clickety style filler, so if I needed to, I could shave a bit of it, and you just turn it to that spot. But it's good. But just so you believe me, I'll put the tailgate on. Well, it doesn't help that my tailgate isn't straight, but hey, she just fits. We're good. Well, folks, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later. Want to go, bud?